Hi there, happy Monday. Welcome back to Hunt Hill at Home. Today's topic is solar ovens. And you're probably wondering what I've got next to me. It is a solar oven. I'll give you a quick look. We'll look at it even closer later. But there's our solar oven soaking up the rays. Today is a perfect day to be working with the sun and with solar ovens because it is really sunny and really hot out today. Let me check my thermometer to see how hot it actually is. So my thermometer reads that it's 90 degrees out right now. It is very hot and very sweaty. So before we get started with all of our solar oven things, I've got a joke for you. So this morning when I woke up so early that it was still dark out. And I wondered to myself, I wonder where the sun has gone. And then it dawned on me. Alright, so we're going to actually be using this solar oven today. We're going to make some s'mores in the solar oven. And then I'm going to show you how to make your own solar oven out of an old pizza box. So, what you're going to need to make your solar oven at home is some aluminum foil, some plastic wrap, something black to put on the bottom. I'm using these foam sheets, but if you've got black paper, that works as well. You're going to need something to draw a straight line with, something to write with. Can you hear that wind? It's pretty windy today too. Something to cut with, an X-Acto knife or a utility knife works really well, but make sure if you're a child that you have an adult helping you. And you'll need some tape. So before we get started with making that, we're going to actually set some things into our solar oven that we've already got made. And I see that some people are watching. Thanks for watching, Cindy. I'm going to show you what my oven looks like. So this one is a solar oven that's made out of some wood materials and some actual metal. So it's going to be running a lot hotter than our box solar oven will. But so you can see what's happening here, I've had this out in the sun for about an hour and it's already 220 degrees in there. It's only 90 degrees out here, so it's definitely saving a lot of energy and holding it inside that box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put some s'mores in this box to see how they will cook. Now, it's important when using a solar oven that you only cook things that you know will be food safe even if they don't get thoroughly cooked through. So things like s'mores are great because even if they're not totally cooked through, they still taste delicious. So I've got my s'mores in a cooler right now so they didn't start melting before we put them in. So I'm going to put one inside the solar oven and I'm going to put the other one just out in the open. Let me see if I can get it out of my bag. Okay, so then we can compare to see which one cooked more and how much more it cooked. So this one's just going to sit right next to the solar oven in the sun, but not inside the solar oven. And then this one, look at how tasty it looks. We'll go right inside. Whew, that is hot in there. Okay. Let's get started with making our pizza box solar oven. So how this works, and I started this a little bit before so you didn't have to watch me do all the steps totally. You're going to use your ruler to draw a line all the way around the edge of the box. You need it to be about 1 inch wide around the edge. Then you will take your cutting implement and you're going to cut on 3 sides of it. You don't want to cut all 4 sides because you need it to be a flap so it can open and shut like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to line the inside of this flap here with something reflective so I'm catching more of the sun's rays. That's where this comes into play. We're going to use the shinier side of our aluminum foil. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but this side is shiny, this side's kind of dull. So I'm going to use the shiny side. And I'm going to wrap it around. And once I've got it where I want it, I can use some tape to hold it in place. Ta-da! All right, next I'm going to want this bottom part here. You can tell it actually had pizza in there. I want that to be black because black absorbs the most of the sunlight, all of the energy from the sun. So I'm going to put this black down on the bottom here. And then, if you want to get really crazy, you can actually insulate this a little bit so that you're not losing more energy out the sides. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my newspaper and I'm going to roll it up. And I'm going to put it along the edges of the box so that I can still close the box, but there's something to kind of hold all that warm air inside. It's kind of tricky with this wind going on. Okay, so those of you who are watching at home, you can definitely put more in here. I've just put two, one on each of these sides. And then what I want to do, this is probably the hardest part, is I have to take my plastic wrap and I'm going to put it in this hole right here to seal all of the air in. So I'll take my plastic wrap, pull it out the length that I need it. And if you've ever worked with plastic wrap, it never does exactly what you want it to do. So have a little patience with me as I figure this out. All right, now I need a piece of tape. Piece of tape. Right now I'm just kind of tacking it on with tape and I'm going to seal it up once I've got it tacked on. Okay. See, I've got 5 people watching now. Thank you all for continuing to watch even after we're not doing it as regularly as before. It's always fun to see who's engaging. Okay. And it looks like I'm going to need another piece because it's not totally covering all of the edges. So here we go. That one didn't work. Let's try that again. Okay, that's good. I'm going to set this down for just a second. I know it's hard for you to see when it's flying around all the time, but trying my best to make sure it doesn't fly around in the wind too much. Okay. Now what I can do is I can seal up all of the sides so there are no spots where any air can leak up. And then I will be able to close this up and use it as a solar oven. Now you can make all sorts of things, not just s'mores in here. So you could make things like little cobblers or little things that you just need to heat a bit. I've heard of people doing hot dogs in there. You want to make sure that the hot dog does get to a safe temperature, but hot dogs are typically pre-cooked anyway, so they have a little less risk than a lot of other meats. Alright, let's see how things are going in our full solar oven. So, if we look in here, we can see it's getting a little bit melty and along the edges and a little bit hot. This one as well is getting a little bit melty. I'm going to actually take them out and squish them and see how they turned out. So I've got to open this up. Whew, that is hot in there. If you ever wonder why you shouldn't leave your dog in a closed car, this is why. It can get up to 220 degrees in an hour. So if I squish it, it's already very melted. Look at that. Wow. Looks ready to eat. Let's give this one a try and see how it did with just the 90 degrees. So this one, the chocolate is definitely melty, but when I squish the marshmallow, it's not melted yet. So that one would do much better in the solar oven. Well, thank you so much for watching today, and I'm going to enjoy my freshly made s'more. Take care and have an awesome week. Bye.